Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss another topic in the same chapter. We have finished, as you know, certain parts of this chapter as such, and we have in the previous lecture I have finished fungi, both general description about the fungi as well as the classes about the fungi. Today we will be discussing about kingdom Plantae, but only in brief. Similarly, today also we will be discussing about some parts of kingdom Animalia, because in the chapters which are still to come, these will be described in great detail. So just only introduction is here in this chapter, and then we have some part of this chapter also, just an introduction. Okay, now let us start with kingdom Plantae as such. Okay, as we know that plants are autotrophic, they can prepare their own food as such. They have the ability to prepare their own food because of the presence of green pigment in a cell organelles called chloroplast. Now, these green pigments are called as chlorophyll, and therefore they are called as photosynthetic autotroph. We use the term photosynthetic autotrophic organism for the plants as such, because they use sunlight in order to prepare their own food. Now, these plants, according to Whittaker's system of classification, the plants include algae, includes bryophytes, then we include pteridophytes, then includes gymnosperms, and then we include angiosperms. These are all included in plants. Algae, bryophytes, gymnosperm and angiosperm. These are included in plants as such. Now, there are certain plants which are heterotrophic also. In some part of their life cycle, they become heterotrophic. For example, insectivorous plants such as Venus flytrap. You must have heard about Venus flytrap. Now, it depends upon insects also for some time for its food requirement, as well as bladderwort. They can be insectivorous. Now, there are certain plants which can be parasitic also. For example, Cuscuta. It depends upon other plant for its food requirement. In course of evolution, it has lost its chlorophyll pigment, and it start depending upon other plants for its nutritional requirement. Okay, apart from that, you know that there is alternation of generation present in plant. Alternation of generation is present in plants. In this case, there is a haploid gametophytic phase, haploid gametophyte, and in which the gamete cells are produced, which is followed by diploid sporophyte stage. which is followed by a diploid sporophyte stage. So there is an alternation of generation also present. This kingdom, planty kingdom, will be described in great detail in chapters which are yet to come. So hopefully we'll be dealing with all these things in detail as such. Now let us start with kingdom Animalia. As you know, the animal kingdom, it consists of multicellular animals, since all the unicellular animals have been provided a separate kingdom, that is kingdom Protista, as we have already gone through. In Animalia, you find all the multicellular animals. These are basically heterotrophic organisms, multicellular. They depend upon plants for their food requirement. Now there can be various kind of animals, very simple invertebrates and then vertebrates also. So this they have mostly sexual reproduction in their life cycle, and only they grow up to a certain limit and then they stop growing, that is the growth is halted. So these are the certain differences. They do not have chlorophyll pigment, so they cannot prepare their own food, they are heterotrophic. So these are slight differences, these are major differences between Animalia and kingdom Animalia and kingdom Plantae. Now we will be discussing about certain other things which have been left in the classification process. Now these are viruses. Viruses, viroids, we will be talking about prions, etc. Now let us start with viruses. Now the name virus means poisonous fluid, venom or poisonous fluid, and it was given by Dmitry Ivanovsky. He observed that tobacco mosaic disease is caused by this kind of virus, and this kind of virus can pass through a bacterial proof filter papers. These are very small and therefore they can pass through bacterial proof filter papers also. Now again MW Bazarnik, he was able to say that viruses are very small, and he used the term contagium vivum fluidum for virus. He showed that the cell sap, the sap from the infected plant, can cause infection in healthy plants also. Sap of the plant, infected plant, can cause infections in the healthy plant also. So he was the person who first noticed it. Now W.N. Stanley, he was the person who crystallized the virus. He was able to crystallize the virus, and he said that virus can be crystallized, and the crystal form is mainly composed of large proteins. So now let us discuss something about other things about virus as such. Okay. Now viruses are actually obligate parasites. Obligate, we use the term obligate because they depend upon the other organism. When they are not present inside the living organism, they behave as non-living organism. Crystallized form, non-living organism having no metabolism. So when they are outside, they behave as non-living organism, and when they are inside the living organism, they behave as when they are inside the living organism, then they behave as a living organism also. So that is the reason why we are not able to distinguish it whether it is a living organism or a non-living organism. But yes, there are certain features of virus which I am going to tell you. The outer part of the virus is actually made up of protein, and which are called as capsid, made up of proteinaceous structure, and the inner part is actually made up of genetic material, and then genetic material can be either be RNA or DNA. Now capsid or the outer part of the virus protein coat can be made up of smaller subunit called as capsomeres. Now the inner core of the virus is either made up of RNA or DNA. These are nucleic acid, but not both as such, either RNA or DNA as such. It has been observed that in case of plants, we usually observe that single stranded RNA act as a genetic material, single stranded RNA act as a genetic material. But in case of animals, we observe that single and double stranded RNA, single or double stranded RNA may act as a genetic material, or double stranded DNA, double stranded DNA act as a genetic material. Either single or double stranded RNA act as a genetic material, or double stranded DNA act as a genetic material in case of animals. So this is all about viruses as such. Viruses cause various kind of disease both in animals and plants. In case of animals, you must have heard about mumps. These are called by viruses. Then measles, chicken pox, influenza. This is also called by a virus. AIDS or HIV, you must have heard about AIDS, HIV, which it is also a virus. They belong to a family of viruses called as retroviruses. So today you must have heard about coronavirus, that is also a virus belonging to coronavirus family, that is also COVID-19, it is called as COVID-19, belonging to coronavirus family. Okay, now in case of plants, it causes various kind of diseases such as vein clearing, stunted growth, mosaic disease of tobacco. Now there are certain viruses called as, you must have heard about bacteriophages, that depends upon bacteria. The host cell is bacteria in them. Now let us talk about certain other things other than the virus as such. We have discussed about viruses. Now let us discuss about certain other things other than viruses. First one will be viroids. It was discovered by T.O. Dainer. He was a person who discovered it. He discovered that it is causing a kind of disease in potato, changing the morphology of the potato, and that is called as potato spindle tuber disease. Potato spindle tuber disease in case of potato plant. So viroids are actually it has been observed that they consist of single stranded RNA and do not have any protein coat. So that is the difference between a virus and a viroids. Moreover, the single stranded RNA is of low molecular weight. Now we will be going to discuss another kind of disease which is called as prions. Now it has been observed that certain abnormally folded proteins can also cause disease. For example, mad cow disease is caused by prions, that is responsible for neural degeneration in animals. For example, bovine spongiform encephalopathy. It is also referred to as mad cow disease. So viroids are basically made up of prions are basically made up of abnormal folded protein which can cause disease. So these are again an exception to cell theory. This is just a protein and it acts as a living organism. It is able to cause disease in other organisms as such. So, okay. Now let us talk about this mad cow disease or bovine spongiform encephalopathy is very similar to disease caused in human beings, that is Jacob's disease. Jacob's disease in case of human beings. Okay, now let us discuss about certain other things. You must have heard about lichens. Lichens are combination of both algae and fungi. They are combination of algae and fungi, and where algae is a particular partner which is responsible for performing photosynthesis, and it is also called as phycobiont. Now fungi is again a partner, it is called as mycobiont, though it is not able to synthesize its own food because it does not contain chlorophyll, but since it has very thin hyphae, filaments, and it can draw important nutrients from the soil, both important nutrients from the soil as well as water. So there is a symbiotic relationship between fungi and algae. There is a symbiotic relationship between fungi and algae in which the algae supplies the carbohydrate to the fungi, and in return the fungi provides it with water and important nutrients which are present in the soil. So thank you, we have finished this topic. Have a very nice day.